Welcome to the Medium in the Middle podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, the Medium in the Middle. On this podcast, I share my journey as a developing psychic medium, as a Reiki master teacher, as an Akashic record practitioner, and anything else that's thrown my way. Join me every week. I release new episodes every Tuesday. Hello. Welcome back, Middlers. Welcome to episode 109. 109! So this is the second last episode of the year, and I'm really happy with how these numbers worked out. We will be finishing 2021 on episode 110, How Complete, but then beginning 2022 on episode 111. I mean, if that's not divine numbering, I don't know what is. So welcome. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie. I am the medium in the middle. And this week I am bringing you a Q&A episode. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a long time. And I got some really good questions this time. I always ask on my Instagram for questions. So if you're not already following me on there, at Medium in the Middle, I post a lot of things. We do giveaways. I am pretty funny, I like to think. So you can catch me over on Instagram, but I'm going to jump right into announcements. I just have a few. Reiki courses for the new year are up and rolling. Crazy to think we're into 2022, but if you're interested in learning Reiki level 1 or Reiki level 2, we have that coming in hot. The last thing for this year I will be doing is the meeting in the middle on December 30th. It is 2021, a year in review, and then 2022, a look ahead. So we do some reflection and then some goal planning for the new year. This was a fan favorite last year, and I am so excited to have this coming in. So that's coming up on December 30th. If you can't make it live, everybody does get the replay. And the last thing that will be coming is mentorship. So my first round of mentees is coming to an end. It is so bittersweet and sad, but so much growth, and I'm so excited for all my mentees. But that means room for new mentees to come in the new year. So a new round will be opening. I always post on my Instagram for that. Last time applications sold out in less than 24 hours. So I'm expecting the same for this. So keep an eye over on Instagram. I will be posting all the details. And that is all my announcements. So for this week, I pulled 2 cards from the Colette Baron-Reid Enchanted Map Deck. And honestly, I'm really happy that a lot of you are buying this deck and enjoying it. I saw that some of you are giving it for Christmas or getting it for Christmas. That's really nice. My deck is the old version of it. So I got to see some of the newer versions. I was like, oh, my deck doesn't look like that. But still the same information, I believe. So I pulled 2 cards, and I pulled card 37, Cleaning House. I've never pulled this card before. This is why I love pulling cards. It's time to clear the clutter to make way for better things. When you see the Cleaning House card in a reading, it's time to declutter your life. Get rid of unwanted things in your physical home and release what you no longer want or truly need. Is there any unfinished business you should address? Thoughts, memories, and emotional baggage must be swept out of your house as well. Your conscience must be clear for you to move freely in the world. Celebrate a spring cleaning and feel the freedom as you make way for much better things. Look at what you've resisted discarding and be honest about its value. Be honest. Clean house. Ooh, I like that card. I don't know about you guys, but I like to do a spring cleaning right before Christmas as well. Normally, it would be when like a lot of new things are coming into the house. And I do buy myself some things on Christmas, and a few friends and I do exchange gifts, but it's not like when you were younger, which is totally fine. I buy whatever I want whenever I want. That's the beauty of being an adult. Getting whatever you want whenever you want it for the most part, and also eating chips whenever I want is another benefit of adulting. My favorite part about the holiday season is I take the liberty of eating cookies for breakfast every single day for about 2 weeks, and then I'm on a sugar high. So I make these cookies once a year. They're gluten-free, dairy-free sugar cookies, and they are so delicious, and I can't wait to eat them every single day for breakfast. I'm sure I will talk about it on Instagram and be dancing around. But that is my favorite thing. So it's interesting that this card came up because I do like to do this around Christmas time and spring cleaning time, but just kind of like throwing out things in my closet I know I'm not going to wear this year. Not throwing out, donating. So I've donated another like 4 garbage bags just in the last week. And it just feels like I want to clean everything. I want everything to be fresh when you're putting up decorations. So I like this card as we come into closing out 2021. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, then card number 29, Coming to Life, was the second card that I pulled. Something beautiful is being born into your life. When you look at your life, you can see how you've grown and evolved over time. Perhaps you've shed skins and identities and created new ones, or at the very least, matured in your ideas about yourself and the world you inhabit. You know things take time, and Spirit's timetable is rarely in sync with our own. That's so true. This card indicates that a long-held dream is beginning to show signs of life. You must try not to coax it along or shape it according to your desires. Spirit knows the best form for the manifestation of that dream, and your life can become even better than you could possibly imagine. Now is the time for reverence and awe. Allow the contours of your path to be carved by the hands of the divine. All you have to do is show up. Ooh, a nice little message. Cleaning house and then coming to life. Very end of year vibes, you know? I love this time of year. It's so refreshing. And I like that there's rest and there's parties and there's get-togethers and there's celebration and there's cookies and snow and just everything's pretty and everyone's in a good mood unless you're in a mall. And I just really enjoy this time of year. So I'm feeling grateful that this year I think I'm actually going to get some time off, some scheduled time off. I'm hoping to go somewhere hot. And it's going to be really nice and relaxing. So I hope the same for you too. So I'm going to jump right into the Q&A portion now. And thank you so much to everyone who submitted questions on Instagram. And it's interesting that a few of them were very similar, and I like that. I like when the collective is thinking the same things. So it's a little mix. It's a little mix of everything. Mediumship, Reiki, really good questions that I think are going to be helpful for all of those listening. So I'm going to start off with kind of a question that goes off of the card pull. And there's 2 questions here. Have I ever considered reading tarot cards? This is a good question. So I haven't considered it to do it like as a paid offering. I do it for friends and I pull them sometimes and it's kind of fun. I do prefer Oracle over tarot. I read my own tarot and kind of have fun with it, but I don't have the cards memorized. I know a lot of people who do this have a lot of the cards in the meetings memorized. I can definitely give a reading once I see the whole outlook of it and really interpret the cards in a very intuitive way, but for right now, it's kind of something I just think is fun and I get to add it in, but not something that I would offer readings in right now. You never know what's going to happen down the road. But another question was, how do I find the right tarot cards for me? So something that I was always told was that your first deck needs to be gifted to you. And I don't know if that's true, but I kind of held to that. And it took me about a year to get my first tarot deck. And then apparently after you're gifted your first one, you can buy your own. Someone tell me if that's an old wives' tale. And what I do for decks is I just look at the deck and see if I enjoy the imagery, see if I enjoy the messages. Some are a little darker than others. Some are fun and playful. Some are airy-fairy. Some I just don't get, like the Oracle of E, I'll just never understand. So what I like to do is see if you like resonate with the deck. And in the same way that you pick a crystal, pick your decks. So like hold it. Do you want this? Do you not want it? There's the Moonology, I think it's called. I've wanted that deck for a little while because a few people have done readings for me on that deck. But every time I go to buy it, I just get an instant like, I don't need this. So even there's another Rebecca Campbell deck that I like, and I think it's pretty. Same thing. Every time I go to buy it, it's like, you don't need this. So I don't like things to collect dust, and I like to use all my decks. So you want to find the deck that you like, that you're drawn to, and that feels like it's yours. So the same thing you would do when you were picking a crystal. So I hope that's helpful. So this is an interesting question. Can all mediums channel pets when they pass over? I want to say or assume yes. They're just like a soul, right? So I usually don't channel just a pet. I definitely have had pets walk into readings and I'm like, oh, now there's a small white dog that's sitting on her lap. Oh yeah, she used to have a white dog. So I have a feeling that probably happens as well. But there are specific pet communication mediums. I do know that. But if I were to guess, I would say yes, all mediums can connect, but maybe some better than others. Okay. A quick question here. I want to try PSYCH-K, but when I try the sway test, it doesn't work. I don't move. Can I still do it? The answer is yes, you can. I have multiple ways that we can muscle test, and I just pretty much see which one you pick up on the quickest. And if you absolutely cannot test, I can surrogate and test for you. I just like the people doing it to get to enjoy the sway because you get to see the difference of, hey, that tested negative and now it's testing positive. But you absolutely don't have to be able to sway test or have any prior knowledge of it. I will teach you, and if you don't pick it up quickly, I will do it for you, just to help keep the appointment moving along so we don't waste too much time. So it's totally fine if you can't sway test. You can still do PSYCH-K. Don't you worry. Usually I'll still have you practice the sway, and then by the end of it, your sway is stronger than when we started because we just did a bunch of questions with your sway. Okay, I'm going to do a few fast ones here. If I could have a magic power other than psychic, what would it be? And I think this would be like time travel or like being able to fly. So like I blink my eyes, bam, I'm in Mexico. I blink my eyes, bam, I'm in Ontario. I've always wanted to be able to change my physical location. But if it was like a magical power, like something with magic, I snap my fingers and whatever meal I want is placed in front of me. Yes, that's what I want. I snap my fingers and whatever meal I want is placed in front of me. And I know like I could go to a restaurant and that would happen, but there's still a wait. I feel like the amount of like time cooking and cleaning from food. Yeah, maybe that's what I would do. If not, traveling. My 2022 word or intention. So I will be doing a lot of this in my workshop on December 30th, so I'm not quite sure what it is, but my ideas are, I think I want my word to be connection for 2022, and let me check what my word for this year was. Okay, so I love that I do this every year because it's beautiful and it's all in the same book. So my word for 2020 was expansion. And I wrote, boom, so much growth, so much growth. And then my word for 2021 was trust. And then I wrote in myself, in the universe, in spirit. And then my runner-up word was powerful. Ooh, feeling that. So I think my word for 2022, I want it to be connection. And I don't want to say slowing down, but maybe enjoyment, like connection and enjoyment. I kind of felt like I ran through 2021. It was like the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, where I want to be more, not more present, but I want to enjoy life a little bit more. And that will require balance and, giving up some work things, but I just feel like I need to prioritize my relationships and connections, and it's a big theme in my life's work. I know that through readings I've had and my mentors and past life regressions that I need to prioritize connections because I'm bad at that. I'll always text you back, but I will rarely text first. I'm that type of person. So yeah, I think that's going to be my word, but I'm going to do everything on December 30th when I do the workshop with everybody. I like to write out my own at that time because power of the group, it's always nice to do it together, and it also helps me time it out because when I know I'm about done, then I know everybody else is about done. So double whammy. What is your word, middlers, for 2022? Think about it. It's a really nice intention to set. Okay, this is another good one. We're really going on kind of the new year goals. Tips for people who want to go after their biggest dreams. Ooh, okay, I have a few for this. Tip number 1, start before you're ready. Tip number 2, start before that. Tip number 3, find a baby step that you can do. I feel like sometimes our biggest and wildest dreams seem so unattainable and maybe so far away, but if you take a baby step, it'll feel like you're doing something. So I think there's like a meme or something on the internet where it's like, even if you just change 1% a day, by the end of the year, you've changed 365% or whatever it is. And that really does make sense. You know, it might not seem like a big deal now, but as you add it up over time, it will be a big deal. So I say, start before you're ready. Start before you're ready again. Take baby steps. And starting is better than perfect. I know it's usually done is better than perfect, but starting on your goals is better than perfect. Yeah, that's really, really important. Just start. Start today. You can do it. The only person holding you back is you. That's like the other scary thing. The only person holding you back is you. Okay, this kind of leads into the next question. Thinking about starting a podcast. Is it hard or easy to learn all the work involved? Ooh, okay. So I don't want to deter you from starting a podcast because I want you to do it and I want you to start today. But it is, yes, a lot of work, but you also get to choose how much work it is. I know people who don't edit. I know people who don't have a microphone. You don't even need a microphone, to be honest. You can use your phone. You can use headphones. I found the editing curve to be very difficult. I found like episode planning to be hard. Now I'm in the groove of it, but kind of finding new material to talk about. Once you're consistent and once you're in the flow, it does become second nature, but I don't want to lie and say this is an easy thing to do. This is hours of work and editing every single week. On the low end, I would say about 6 hours a week. On the high end, like 10 plus hours. And that's not including like talking about the episode on Instagram. So before, it used to take me between like 3 to 4 hours to edit. Now I'm down to like 1.5 hours to edit. So it's a learning curve, right? But you definitely can do it. It's not hard. Like, it's not a difficult skill to learn. It's just tedious. And there's a bunch of different things. But now, like, I know you can record right on Anchor and edit right there, I'm pretty sure, and then just upload it. So I think it's definitely gotten easier over the last few years about how things can be uploaded and things like that. I still do it, I'm sure, an archaic way. It's not hard, and don't let hard things stop you. Don't let something being hard or a learning curve stop you. Just start your podcast. You will love it. It'll be important. It will be impactful. Just start today. Launch before you're ready. See a few questions before. Okay, next question. This is a good one because they used my favorite word, boundary. Can you share a spiritual boundary and how you came to develop it? Yes, I absolutely can. And I hope you all have spiritual boundaries that you have. So this is a really simple one, but I'm sure it might hit a lot of you. So for a while, when I didn't know how to deal with spirits communication, I was kind of playing with how they could communicate with me. So for a while, it was like just in Reiki. And then it was, okay, well, just when I'm sleeping. Okay, well, no, my dreams are now crazy just when I'm awake. Okay, well, no, now just when and I kind of bounced it back and forth. But now a strong spiritual boundary that I have is spirits not allowed in my house is number 1. And number 2, spirit is not allowed to bother me when I sleep. So no dreams, no waking me up in the middle of the night, no sitting on my bed. My room is a sacred space and they're just not welcome there. So I set that intention when I clear my room with Reiki. If I ever start to get woken up or bothered in my house, I reset the intention. You will have to reset some of these. It's not just like say it once and then you're done. And then in regards to my house, I've had other people come over and be like, whoa, your house is like a vortex. They're like, everyone's just outside the windows. And I was like, yeah, because they're not allowed inside. that's my rule. So it's funny because, windows like will happen a lot of things. Spirit will dance in windows or mirrors, things like that, but they're not allowed in my house. And when I'm working, it's different. So they're also allowed in my office. So my office, if you've ever been there, the lights go crazy. They dance, they shut off, they go higher, they go lower. People are always like, what's going on? I'm like, Spirit's allowed to be here. And that's what I set. So I know boundaries can sometimes seem scary. And my easiest way to say how to set a boundary is say what you want and say what you don't want. There are your boundaries, my friends. I want to sleep a full night without being woken up by Spirit. Therefore, Spirit is not allowed to wake me up when I'm sleeping. No dreams, no sitting on my bed. I don't care what the message is. I do not care. I'm sleeping. There's my boundary. Okay, I'm going to jump to a quick one. What is my strongest clair? So my strongest clair is claircognizance, like a very clear knowing. And then probably clairsentience, which is feelings. I get a lot of feelings of how people are and knowings. So that one is what I'm strongest in. What is my favorite one? Probably the knowing. I do really like working with knowing because although it's maybe not the best one for evidence, like, did I really feel that? Do I really know that? I find it's the clearest. So that is my strongest clair, if you were to ask me. Okay, let's jump to a Reiki question. Why is it that when I Reiki myself, it is not as effective as when I Reiki others, or if someone Reikis me? Great question. Oh my gosh, great question. And my answer to you is, it's not that it's not as effective. However, it's always nicer when someone else does it for us or when we're giving. So I usually find that I still need to go to others to receive Reiki just because it's the same way as like you can paint your own nails and they'll look nice. But some reason why, whenever you go to the salon, they just paint them nicer. It's just always nicer when someone else does it for you, but I want to be very clear. It is not more or less effective. It's just more the experience of it. So you're not getting less Reiki or anything like that. It's just a different experience. And you just really have to trust that. So I know it might feel that way, but it is not that way. You're not getting anything less effective. It's just nicer when someone else does it for us. And sometimes we are still blind to things from ourselves. And what I mean by that is like, say your heart needs some attention, but you're like, no, I don't want to deal with that. And you won't Reiki your heart. You'll almost like dance around the problem areas or you won't want to deal with it right now. That's fine. You can do that when you're working on yourself. But if someone else comes and does Reiki on you, they're like, whoa, we need to work on your heart. You're not going to say, oh, no, I don't want to work on my heart. You're just going to know that whatever needs to be done is going to be done. So that's also another reason I find other people will point out things we maybe don't notice or we're blind to or we don't want to notice. So that's why it's always nice. I'm trying my new thing is I'm going for Reiki once a month from someone else. Just because it's amazing and beautiful, but also I need the healing, I need the awareness, and yes, I need to also help. So same way, when anyone else does anything for us, it's always nicer. Reiki's the same. But the effectiveness does not change. Okay, we'll stay on this Reiki train. How has performing Reiki changed from when you first began up until now? Ooh, good question. And I want all my students to hear this. I did not intuitively work when I first started. I worked from the head to the toes, 3 to 5 minutes per hand position, and that's what I did. So I was very by the book. I very much just did what I was told. I didn't like scanning. I didn't like intuitively working. That's why in my trainings I say, do the hand positions from head to toe until you are so bored of doing the hand positions from head to toe, because it teaches you a lot. So I learned a lot about the body through other energy ventures that I dove into. So like just being interested in reflexology, being interested in meridians, being interested in craniosacral. That helped me learn a lot about the body, which really helped my Reiki. But I would say I just became more confident. So while my sessions may not have actually changed, my experience and the experience that I offer has definitely changed. And I was talking to a mentee about this today in regards to we all are giving the same Reiki. Reiki is not better or worse when it comes from me or someone else, but the experience is different. Yes, I'm much more confident and I have done a lot of Reiki, so I have a process. When you're figuring out your process or developing your process, yes, it's a little bit rockier. It might feel a little bit harder, but you are still just as capable. So I just want to remind everybody that you are just as capable. It's just a different experience. But yeah, the biggest difference is just confidence and experience. It really does help. And I know it's not the answer anyone wants is practice, 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 but I swear you will learn more by practicing than I could ever teach you. You need that real life experience, and that's why I am always telling my students to practice. I set up all my mentees with practice. My second favorite word after boundary might be practice. Okay, so there's 4 more questions left, and they're both related to each other, so I really like that. The questions are, what are you manifesting for 2022? 2021 was such a great year for you. 2021 was a banger for me. 2022, I really want the podcast sponsored. That's my number one goal. I've been doing a lot of work for over 2 years now, and I am just ready for the next level of sponsorship and all that comes with it. But I will be writing out a lot of my goals I hate to keep saying this, but in my event at the end of the month. I like to get specific and I like to write a lot because at this time of year, I like to go back to that little book I just pulled out and read everything and see how so many things came true. So the other question that I asked is, what are your goals for 2022, personal and professional? Professional will definitely be podcast sponsorship, investing more time in that. I want to invest more time and energy and money into my in-person business. I'm redoing my website and leveling that up. So those are kind of my professional business ones. I feel like my mentorship will grow. Personal goals, I think I want to find more balance. Seems like the wrong word. I feel like intention is a better word. I want to be more intentional with my time. I want to say yes to things. I want to go on more adventures. I want to do things, have days off. That's a really big thing for me in the new year. I will be having days off, which is going to be new because, the first year in business, you're really pushing. It's a lot of work. I don't think I had a day off for the first 6 months of this year. I can confidently say that. Confidently. And I just cannot go into the new year this way. I need more balance. And I want to be able to, go cross-country skiing with my friends and not have to say, oh, sorry, I work. Go away with my friends and not have to say, oh, sorry, I work. I'm the boss. There is no I'm sorry, I work. So just kind of playing with that a little bit more. Now there needs to be a little bit more balance with intention. So I'm going to be writing out some goals around that. But I challenge you to do the same, even if you're not coming to the meeting. The end of the year is a powerful time. It is like a spring cleaning. There's something is dying and finishing the year, but then something is being birthed, the new and fresh. And I love the new year. It's just a really nice time. It's not about setting massive goals for yourself. It's just what do you want this year? Who do you want to be? What do you want to become? I could go on forever, but this little book that I've had since 2016, that's when I started, Lululemon, has really, really, really pushed me and encouraged me. And this is how my manifestations have started to come through. So I always joke now that I love my life and I just manifest that it stays the same. I love my job. I love my work. I love my clients. I love where I live. I love my home. I love my dog. I love my gym. I love Banff. I love my life. So I hope everything stays the same, I guess, would be my manifestation. I'm sure there'll be some big, lofty goals, and I will share them with you over the next coming month because I like to share and inspire, and I'd love to hear other people's goals. This is why it's so important to talk about goals, and this is also why I'm obsessed with it, and this is also why my December meeting is always my favorite. So I digress because I could talk about this forever. So I want to finish with these last 2 questions. And I probably get asked these questions the most. So I'm going to say all the questions and then I'm going to give you my full answer. Steph, when will you be ready to offer mediumship readings? Steph, why do you call yourself the medium in the middle if you don't do mediumship readings? Steph, what is keeping you from doing mediumship readings? I get asked this all the time, and I'm happy to answer these questions. So, when will I be ready to offer mediumship reading? I want to say that one of my goals, I should have said this in the last question, for the new year is that the past few months have really taught me that I do love mediumship. It is something I still want to develop. It isn't something I can continue to ignore, but I want to do it my way. So I've decided that once a quarter, I want to do a large group reading. So that's my goal for the new year. I want to do 4 large in-person group readings. Large, I mean like 100 people. We're not thinking massive here. So winky, pay attention because we got one planned already. If you're in the Banff area, keep your eyes peeled and save February 20th. That's all I'm saying. It's a big deal. I have a guest. I don't know if I can say this yet, but big things are happening. So that's one of my goals. So am I ready to offer one-on-one? No, but as my trade-off, I want to do group readings. So even this week I got an offering to do a group reading, and my normal first instinct would be like, no. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it for this price. And I was like, yeah, I will do it for that price. That's my price. I'm working on that. Why do I call myself the medium in the middle when I don't do mediumship readings? Well, I am still in the middle. So you are still a medium, even if you don't offer mediumship readings. Newsflash. We put these titles on people and have all these expectations of what they should be doing, but I'm still a medium, even though I'm not doing mediumship readings one-on-one. And I made my title years ago when I was developing because I was like, well, I'm in the middle. I'm literally Steph in the middle. There's me in between you and your loved one. There's me when I'm reading your Akashic records, I'm in the middle. And then I'm also in the middle with Reiki. I'm the conduit. I'm the middleman. I am always in the middle of everything that I do. So medium in the middle still applies, even though I don't offer one-on-one mediumship readings. And the last question is what is holding me back from one-on-one mediumship readings? And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I would have to change the entire structure of how I work, essentially, if I offered mediumship readings. So currently, I do a certain amount of people per day. If I were to do mediumship readings, I would have to do less people per day because it's a different energy that you're dealing with, and I don't have the skills, you could say, to hold the energy as much as maybe other people could. So I'd probably go down to maybe 2 readings a day, which is pretty standard for mediums. Some people do 3. I would also then have to raise my prices. I also know I would be very busy, so I would have to be more organized into the future. So in the same way where a medium named Brie only opens up her schedule 3 months at a time because she wants to still be able to plan things in her life, I would have to be mindful of that, right? And 3 months even seems like a long time. I like a 6-week rolling schedule. So it would be a lot of work on my end in the back end of things, cutting down my schedule, deciding when I'm working, deciding what days I'm doing mediumship, and then what days I'm doing all the other things I still want to do, because I would probably set it up where Mondays and Tuesdays I do mediumship, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays I do everything else. Well, but then on the weekends I can't teach Reiki if I'm going to be doing mediumship on Monday, Tuesdays. You see what I'm saying? So number one, it would be a lot of back end, and I would have to change my prices and change my whole structure, and I like my structure right now. Number 2, I know I would become very busy, and I'm just not ready for that. I very much like how my schedule is now. I book about 2 weeks out. I really like that. And the energy that's involved in it, I'm not ready to hold that type of energy as often and as it would be needed to work in mediumship right now. I have to work on that. That's something that I can get better at, but I haven't invested the time into practicing with it, right? So group readings knock me out. mediumship readings are still a lot of energy for me. So I would have to be very mindful of like what I'm doing on my spare time. What do I have planned that night? What do I have planned the next day? It's not just the hour that you're with the medium you have to be thinking of. It's what am I doing before the reading? What am I doing after the reading? Am I planning on going out and having drinks with my friends? Is there someone's birthday party? I can't do that if I have a reading the next day. Did I get enough sleep? How am I feeling? Is my self-care on point? Am I healthy? So it's a very much all encompassing. And I think people think it's just, oh, I just start offering readings and it's no problem. In order to be good at this and maintain the energy you need for a long lasting career, you need to have a lot of other things in place. It's not just like I can open up mediumship readings on my schedule all of a sudden. And another main reason, while I'm sitting here on my soapbox telling you all the reasons why, is I believe at this time in my life, I need to be teaching people how to self-heal. Mediumship is fun, it's healing, it's amazing and beautiful, but it's still, I feel like a show. It's still show me what you can tell me. I'm thinking of something, can you get them to say it? It's still very much not entertainment, because I know there's a lot of grief involved and it's so much more than that. But it is this type of like provingness, I want to say. Proving its work, proving it's real, saying the right things. I want the focus right now, especially over the last few years, to be self-healing. People knowing that they can do this, people knowing that they are empowered. And I'm very good at Reiki. I'm very confident to say that, and as cocky as it may sound, I'm good at it, and I'm good at teaching it, and it's what I'm meant to be doing right now. So mediumship's not going anywhere. I'm going to be the medium in the middle forever. I'm always going to be in the middle, and I know I can do mediumship at any time, but at this time in my life, I am being called to teach people how to self-heal. My Reiki practice is not something I can give up for the bright and shiny thing ahead. Even if it's more money, even if it's less work or more energy, I don't know what it is, but it's just, those are all my reasons why I'm not doing mediumship readings right now, one-on-one. I love group, and like for the sake of the group, I can hold the energy for it. But yeah, those are all my reasons why. So I've thought about this. This isn't something that I haven't thought about or put effort into or considered, when I'm asked every single day to do mediumship. And I know that there's a lot of good people out there doing mediumship that I'm happy to recommend, but I don't know a lot of great people teaching Reiki that I'm happy to recommend. Like if I wasn't doing this, I don't know where I would send people. I know if you're coming to my trainings, you are being well looked after. You are leaving with a lot of knowledge. You are going to feel confident in your Reiki abilities. But with mediumship, I know I can send you to a laundry list of people where you will get what you're looking for. You will get your healing messages. You will get your connection. You will get that experience. So I feel fine staying in my healing lane right now. And I always joke when I'm old, I'm going to be sitting on a rocking chair doing readings until, I die. And I will be. And I know I have many, many years for that. Right now, when I have the energy and I'm young, I need to teach people how to heal. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk if you listened to that entire answer. But I get asked that a lot, and that's my full-blown, long-winded answer. Many, many reasons why, but those are all the logistical reasons why and my personal reasons why. So, thank you for listening if you listened to all that. I'm sure half the people shut that off, but that's totally fine because maybe you don't care why I'm not doing mediumship readings, but that's why. Those are my answers. So thank you for listening to this week's episode. Thank you for putting in your questions. I always like to hear what you guys are interested in knowing or curious about. Reiki, mediumship, Akashic Records, PSYCH-K, all the things, personal, non-personal. I like that you guys are interested in my goals. I will definitely share more of them as we get closer to the end of the year because I really try to save myself for the end of the year when I review my 2021 and then look forward. And I like to review what I wrote down for this year. So I'll just say it again, another shameless plug. If you want to join the December 30th year in review and a look ahead, the meeting in the middle, it is 2 hours, December 30th, 5 to 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, also recorded if you can't make it live. I will leave all the links down below in the show notes. If you are an iTunes user, I would love and appreciate a rating and a review. If you have already left a review, thank you. I appreciate you. And this is the second last episode of 2021. I will see you next week. I am doing 21 things I learned in 2021. I did something like that for my birthday last year and I really liked it. So we're doing it again to wrap up the year. And then the podcast is on a hiatus until the new year, just taking a few weeks off when everyone's busy out and about, enjoying the present moment. Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And until next week, Middlers, have a wonderful week. I will see you in your ears next Tuesday for the last time of 2021. Bye, guys.